Welcome back to IGN Live from E3 2016. I'm Max Scoville. Who cares? I'm here with Alex from DICE. Battlefield 1, you're making the prettiest World War I shooter ever made. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I'm super excited to be here, at EA Play and E3 to finally be able to get the game into players' hands because, making trailers, making videos is all cool, but it all kind of boils down to people actually playing it and reacting to it. So that's what's super exciting to me. So, well, Battlefield 1, right? So what we're doing is we are we're bringing the players to the dawn of all-out war, World War I. So this is a new setting, obviously, for us. And what we wanted to do is that we wanted to make a game that was really unique. And a game that had its own kind of unique flavor. So that's something we knew quite early. So when we looked at the game, at the different possibilities of what we wanted to do, we found that World War I was a perfect match. It's a really good setting for a shooter, and it's a perfect match for a Battlefield game, I think.
I mean, honestly, I mean, World War I is fascinating because it is exactly that, like, it kind of treads that line between old-fashioned warfare and modern warfare. It was the first time that there were automatic weapons.
Yeah, so actually, most of the kind of types of weapons were actually created during this period in time in the duration of 4 years. So you have submachine gun, light machine guns, shotguns, heavy machine guns, tanks, planes, boats, all of the stuff that you see later was kind of created. And what's kind of interesting to that is, to me at least, is that the designs were quite early. So there were some really unique designs that were used as well. And unique designs is good for us because we get to create some really cool gameplay with that. So it's like tanks with guns on the side that you might have seen, and the small tanks, big tanks, yeah.
So how does trench warfare come into play? Like, because honestly, like, I heard rumors of this game, and I was like, okay, it's going to have mustard gas and trenches, and that doesn't sound fun, like. But then I saw this game in action, and you've got like horses and trains and blimps, and
Yeah. So what I think is interesting, again, we want to challenge you guys a little bit, challenge your preconception, because this setting has so much more to offer than I think what people knew from the beginning. So what we wanted to do is kind of paint a bigger picture, including trenches, obviously. But you'll be going to the French countryside and fighting there. You'll be going to the Italian Alps. You'll be going to the Arabian deserts and many more places in this game. But the trenches are interesting. So they work really well in a kind of directional type game mode. So we have some cool stuff that we are going to show a bit later. But yeah, so they're definitely there, and they're definitely adding to the kind of gameplay, I would say.
Okay.
But it's just a one flavor of gameplay.
Yeah. You talked a little bit about weather in the big demo we just saw. How does that come into play? Does that make every match entirely different? I mean, obviously every match is, but...
Yeah, so I mean, what we want to do is kind of develop on our kind of dynamic sandbox that we're doing. So we want every battle to kind of change as they go. So the weather will come in. Maybe it's clear day in the beginning, so everyone is kind of can see far, and you can sit in your windmill and snipe. I assume that's what you do. No, and then the fog comes rolling in, and now you kind of need to change a little bit your tactic because you're probably not so useful in the fog. And you can sneak up on tanks and take them out. That's the type of gameplay we want you to have. So it's like we want you to kind of adapt to the changes around you, the same way that destruction. So
yeah, keep moving. Keep out there.
Yeah.
So we got this gorgeous like CG trailer that seemed to kind of show off the story stuff. I know you guys are focusing mostly on multiplayer right now, but like, can you talk about why that bird is in that tank?
Well, I can't go into too much detail. They actually used them.
Yeah, also, yeah, seriously, no, like carrier pigeons. Like.
Exactly. So they brought them with them to be able to communicate back to their kind of command center.
Is that how you tell somebody that they sucked at a match? Is you send them a bird?
No, but I think that we're trying to build a game that is quite authentic in a sense. It's really always fun first, but we're kind of drawing inspiration from the authentic stuff. So it makes sense that it's supposed to be there because that's kind of how it was.
So next up on my list of animals to ask you about is horses.
Oh yeah.
It's cool because they're simultaneously a vehicle and an animal. How do they come into play? Is it like one of those things where like a match starts and you're like, I'll take the horse?
Yeah, so you'll be able to use the horse in both of the campaign and the multiplayer. It's going to be interesting because this is the first time we ever built something like that in a Battlefield game.
Did you mocap a horse?
Yeah, we did.
Good. I love this job sometimes because I get to ask stuff like that.
Yeah, and I love my job as well because we get to do.
You got to mocap a horse. I got to ask about it. F that. But like, how are you approaching campaign? Because obviously, like, you want to show off everything. Like, you want to get players like doing all the different stuff. But like, was there anyone in World War I who was like, yes, I'll do some trench warfare and then ride my horse to the blimp and then fly around in a nice fight the Red Baron? Like,
yeah. So with the campaign, we wanted to take things a little bit differently, do it a little bit differently. So what you'll be doing there is that we wanted to add more Battlefield into the campaign. We feel like there's huge potential in getting more of the type of Battlefield emotions that you get by playing multiplayer into the campaign as well. So that means like more vehicles, more gadgets, more variety across the board, and a little bit more open, more agency to the players to solve. And if you follow that train of thought, saying like, okay, there's more Battlefield in the campaign. So Battlefield has never been about being a single protagonist.
yeah.
No. So what we want to do here is that you'll be playing as multiple different characters and exploring multiple different stories in multiple different locations, which is quite interesting because they get to tell different perspectives of a quite interesting setting. Yeah. So while they're all separate stories, they're also connected, obviously.
Okay. Final question. Yes or no question. Weirdly enough, a lot of people ask me about this on Twitter. Is there trench foot?
Is there trench foot? No comment on that.
All right.
Yeah.
Unconfirmed trench foot. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to wrap this up. We've got live demos coming up from E3. E3 is like, it's just about to start. So stay right there. We'll be back with more cool stuff. And yeah.